Hi, everyone. Today I'm going to introduce you to a menu of breathing patterns that are going to help you with regulating your nervous system. Just a very simple overview, if you don't already know, is when our nervous system is going through our daily life, it is absolutely normal and common that we are going to get activated by something. This could be an everyday stressor, it could be a conversation, it could be traffic and weather, something unexpected, right? The nervous system, when it gets activated, it goes into one of these following states. It may go into fight, it may go into flight, it may go into freeze or fawn. And these are all the sort of animalistic responses that the nervous system has to stressors in our lives. And it is a very old system, so it exists to help keep us safe, essentially. And in our modern day world, there are still some applications of where that is appropriate, where we might actually need to fight and protect or keep ourselves safe. We might need to fly away from something that maybe is unsafe. Um, Freeze to basically, in an animal, might think of playing dead, pretending nothing is wrong. Or to fawn, which is sort of like a people-pleasing response. It's like being friendly and likable. As you might, examine your own life, you might see where those come up for you. And it's very healthy and normal that our body goes through that. Um, and we'll go into in other videos, I will talk more about those responses and kind of address the healthy responses versus maybe the more unhealthy or responses that we're getting stuck in that we aren't necessarily wanting to be stuck in. But the whole goal is that our nervous system gets activated, and then we have a cascade of events that help us bring our nervous system back down into a regulated state. So this is actually regulation, the movement of the nervous system getting activated. Maybe that burst of energy you get in the morning to get your kids out the door or to get a work project done. And then as that task is completed, that stressor is no longer present in your reality, the nervous system starts to come back down into a restorative state, a state where we can, digest our food, we can have a relaxed conversation, we can be aware of our surroundings. That is the response we want to see happening. When we get stuck in this activated state, this is when the body is going to start to speak to us through various symptoms or expressions of health, trying to get us to back into this regulated state. So breath is one of the most accessible tools you have. It is something that is always with you. It doesn't take a change of clothes. It doesn't take an extraordinary amount of time to access this tool. And it's why it is truly one of the most powerful things you have. And today I just want to give you a little menu based on maybe what you are feeling and experiencing to pick and choose one of these and play with it and come back another time and try on another one for size. So the first one that I'm going to give you today is one that I think of that can be helpful for when our mind is busy. So maybe you've had something busy happen with work or with family where your mind is using its function to keep things in your attention. It is maybe spiraling on something. It is just busy with your to-dos. So essentially, we want to give it a job. In order to access the breath and help the nervous system to come back into a relaxed state, we need to give the mind a job. And the best way to do that is to start with a breath pattern that includes counting. Counting gives the mind something repetitive to focus on. It is something that you really don't have to put a lot of energy into for the mind to just keep following that pattern. And I want to start with just introducing you to the most simple breath pattern, which is a count of 4 inhale and a count of 4 exhale. So with this breath pattern, you can do it with your eyes open, you can do it with your eyes closed, just starting to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. And with that, you're welcome to pause the video and continue on, giving your mind the chance to count and keep your attention, essentially allowing the mind to bring you to this present moment. And the breath, breathing into the low belly, the low ribs, feeling them open and expand in all directions when you breathe in. That's really activating that vagus nerve, that portion of the nervous system that is the rest and digest. And it's anchoring you into your body. So if that feels easy and if you've kind of grasped that, you can take it to a next level. This one is called a box breath. So With this, we add a pause in between the inhale and the exhale on both sides. And a pause is really an opportunity to have some internal reflection without thinking of it. It's just creating space, space to expand and notice. This is how we stretch time and awareness as we start to create space in our breath, in our days, in our moments. So with this one, we inhale to a count of 4, we pause to a count of 4, and we exhale to a count of 4. We pause to a count of 4, and we start over. So you can think of a box as you're counting, but remembering to have that anchor into your body. It can be, again, breathing into the low rib cage, feeling expansion as you breathe, and then pause, exhale, pause. I'm not saying the numbers right now. I want that to be something for your mind to focus on, but as you go through that box breath, you might notice this one does pull you a little more internally. I tend to want to close my eyes. The pause may also feel uncomfortable. Let that be okay. Let it be information to your body, and don't force anything. If you want to do one box breath and then take just a normal couple of breaths and then try it again, can give your body that sense of it's okay to explore this feeling, the sensation of what is this space? Maybe it's indicating what's going on within your body and just noticing. And then with that counting breath, that's the completion of that one. I'm going to bring you into the second one. So this breath is one that I recommend and use when something within me feels activated, or it's more of a body sensation. My belly might feel uncomfortable. Maybe I feel tight in my pelvis. I feel scared. I feel nervous in my chest. Tends to be something that is getting my attention, but it's less about the mind and it's more of like a full body experience. And this one is called a parasympathetic breath. So it's speaking to getting us into that relaxed state of the nervous system. So often when we're going about our days, our breath will be, and this is without our awareness, a sharp inhale and like a very small exhale. It can also be that we have patterns of holding our breath, and then we'll take that big inhale. And those are all sympathetic breath patterns, patterns of breathing under stress, essentially. And our body can get really used to that. So taking that reverse breath is actually taking a moderate or normal inhale and a long extended exhale. So in this parasympathetic breath, I would recommend just noting, maybe doing a body scan to notice what is coming up for me, what am I feeling, where am I within myself right now? And then going into the breath, this breath allows that energy to transmute or shift or change. And it also allows us to, as we downshift, once again, downshift the nervous system into this more regulated, relaxed state, it allows us to connect more to that inner wisdom. And the inner wisdom may be really clear and really obvious, and it may not. It may be more of like, wow, this is still uncomfortable. And it's actually indicating like, I need to draw a boundary here, or I need to say something or speak up for myself. Just knowing that wisdom, especially as we learn to listen to our intuition and trust our intuition, it's not always what we expect, but to still listen to that information and just take it in for what it is. So with this breath, to start, you can do this again with your eyes open. I'll give you the step more advanced version after this. So to start, just breathing in, moderately feeling again into that low belly, low ribs, the inhale, and then having an extended, slow, long exhale. And with this breath, you're really focusing on the sensations that are going on in your body, and you're just going to repeat that. There's no pause. It can feel relatively natural, but just an extended long exhale. And that really kicks on that relaxed portion of the nervous system and just allows the feelings and the sensations in the body to get some attention, to move and breathe them through and out and to start to process them. So at the end of this, check in and see what is different. Maybe what is my body telling me now that I'm in this state of being able to be more receptive, being able to hear more, and to just allow it to shift naturally. If you want to take this into the advanced version of this pose, I would recommend laying down laying down flat on your back. That allows the spinal cord to decompress, the breath to start to move more like a wave and actually help to release tension patterns that are associated with that. And I would set a timer and do this breath from anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. Can feel really long if that breath is new for you. So, find something that fits for you. It could be 15 minutes, it could be 10 if you're just starting this breath. And it's okay if you lose track of it and come back to it. Just when your awareness comes back to this is what I'm doing, okay, the full belly inhale and a slow extended exhale. And just noticing the sensations again that are shifting throughout your body and the wisdom that is speaking through your cells. If you listen to the wisdom of your body a lot, it can be really clear. You kind of build a language with it. If it's again new or first time, just know that this might be like learning a new language. You might understand just parts of it, and that's okay. Just allowing yourself to receive the fact that you know more than you think you know. It's right in here. And then I'm going to leave you with one last breath pattern. You may have already found your breath that resonates for you, but this one is a breath pattern that's going to allow us to activate the nervous system and sort of the underlying patterns that get us into these activated states in the first place. And, the goal is not to completely eliminate them, but when we do start to change our nervous system patterns and our biology, we'll find that we're less likely to react to some of those patterns that maybe just aren't serving us anymore. And we have more bandwidth to maybe move back a little quicker, a little smoother. The waves are smaller or more easy to navigate. I just find that this one speaks to me because it is that deeper internal change that I think a lot of you are also seeking. So this one is really addressing the fact that when we get activated, our first three neural centers, so around the pelvis, the low belly, abdomen, and right below the rib cage, the solar plexus, they get activated. They're sort of our survival response centers. They're going to dictate feelings of safety and security, digesting and emotional processing, how reactive we are essentially to the world and what's coming on around us. Those centers are really going to be the control centers. And many folks in the world are kind of only operating from that level of stress. And these are essentially overactive, and they're taking all of the juicy, vibrant energy that is available within you to feel joyful, relaxed, happy, and they're being just all used in those primary neural centers. So the idea of this breath, and this breath is inspired by the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza. The idea of it is you are going to squeeze those first three neural centers. So this is your pelvis, your glutes, your pelvic floor, and you're sucking up the low belly and all the way up to right above the belly button and the low ribs. You're squeezing it up, up, up. And with that, on your inhale, your breath goes up to the top of your head. And then when you exhale, you relax everything completely. So those muscles are completely relaxed. And then you're going to do that again. So squeezing the root, the low belly, all the way up to the right below the rib cage as the breath travels up your body. And then you completely relax on the exhale. And I would recommend starting with just 3 of those breaths and noticing what you feel in your body, taking a break, and then maybe coming back and doing a few more. That breath again is there to help to release those tension patterns, those survival patterns, those stress patterns that are running in those first 3 neural centers. So, when we react, when we feel unsafe, when we feel anger, fear, all those are getting activated, and there's nothing wrong with those. It's just about learning to release the old patterns that get stored over time from past stressors and actually maybe aren't even what we're reacting to in this moment. We might be reacting to the storage of the old patterns and the old tension that is held within those neural centers. So as we do a breath like this and activate and then relax the nervous system, we start to really peel back those layers. And I'm going to leave it at that for you. Once again, you may decide to lay down for this. You can sit up for this. There's really not a right or wrong way to do it. I do recommend closing your eyes. And if the 3 breaths feels easy, you can extend that time there a little bit, maybe go to 10 breaths, and then make sure you spend a minute or two deeply relaxing after that breath because it is activating. We want to also allow the nervous system to fully come back into a state of ease, a state of restoration within that breath pattern. So if you want to know more about that one or taking it to the next level, I highly recommend reading Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural. You'll find more information there about meditations and breath patterns that may support that as well. And that is what I'm going to leave you with today. That is your menu of choices. I'd be so curious to hear what one resonates with you today, knowing you can come back to this anytime and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.